So let's take some time now to settle the body. Close the eyes gently and check in to make sure that your spine is straight and your head and neck are in line with your spine. The shoulders should be back and down, but relaxed with the chest open. And soften the expression on the face. Place the hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice, and if you can sit cross-legged, please do. If not, sit in a position that's comfortable for you. And feel the body's contact against the floor. And take a long, deep inhalation now, really breathing into the abdomen and the chest. And as you exhale, release all the events that have happened for you today. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release all of the conversations and interactions that you've had today, in whatever form they may have taken, in person, on the phone, or in a digital space. Just let them all go. Take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you need to do after the class. And allow yourself the gift to just be right here in this moment. There's nothing else that you need to do right now. And in a few moments, we'll scan the awareness through the body. And before we do, I just want to advise you to please check in with your body as we do this and just see if there's any pain or irritation or soreness, so that when we begin the practices of this class, you work within your range of movement and listen to your body. If something isn't right, please do something else or even visualize the practice. It can be just as effective. So beginning now, putting the awareness in the soles of the feet and observing how the feet are feeling right now, and then gently moving the awareness up through into the ankles and into the shins and the calves, into the knees, and up through the thighs and the buttocks, up through the fingers and the hands and the wrists. And moving the awareness now up the forearms and into the elbows, into the upper arm and into the shoulders. And now moving the awareness up through the abdomen and the torso and up through the back as well. Paying careful attention to the spine. Gently moving the awareness up into the neck, into the face, around into the back of the head, and to the crown of the head. And now place the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to begin the class. And I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to the wisdom traditions, to ask for protection of our practices, and also for respect and to pay respect between teacher and student and teacher, so that we can all learn together. Breathing in. Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinadvadhitamastu, Mavet Vishavahe, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Hari Om. Okay, so now we'll gently move into the first practice. We're going to actually tonight begin with a dynamic practice, churning the milk. So for this one, make sure the legs are wide apart, as wide as is comfortable. And again, check in to make sure that the spine is straight. Clasp the hands together at shoulder height. The arms should be straight. Inhale, exhale, and move the body forward, reaching forward with the arms still up, and then swing the arms over to the right. Inhaling on the backward movement. Come back, taking up at the abdomen, swing the arms around over to the left foot, exhaling, and then again to the center. So it's like you're stirring a big pot. Complete 5 rounds in each direction. And you can go as slowly or as dynamically as you wish, but making sure that you're leaning back if that's comfortable for you, to also work your abdominal area. And once you finish 5 rounds in each direction, in your own time, of course, just come back to the base position. And closing the eyes and just observe the movement of energy that occurs from undertaking that practice. Our next practice will be a forward bend, but we'll do it on each side first. So beginning with the right leg, so bring the right leg out to the side, bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And ensuring that you're sitting up straight. Now for this, everyone will be at different levels, so just work within your range of movement. So firstly, aim to just, if you can, touch the toe. If you can't touch the toe, so you're moving the body to the right with the arms out in front of the body, leaning to touch the toe. If you can't touch the toe, that's fine. Just place the hands above wherever you can reach, or even place them on the shin. Hold for a few moments and then come back to center. And then complete another 4 times, aiming to just very gently moving a bit more into the asana and holding for a little bit longer each time. But you should not be pushing or straining. It should not hurt you in any way. For the full practice, you can bring the elbows to the floor, placing the head on the knee, but that's the full practice. That's something to work up towards. Going anywhere on the leg that is comfortable for you is just as good. And when you've completed your 5 rounds, complete 5 rounds on the other side. So bringing the left leg out, placing the right sole, the inside of the of the left thigh. Again, sitting, making sure you're up straight, turning the body in that direction, leaning forward. And grabbing where you can on the leg, whether it's the knee, the shin, the foot, whatever's right for you. And after your final round, come back to the base position again and just rest for a few moments. Again, just noticing any difference in the body from this asana. Next, we'll do Tatali Asana, which is the butterfly posture. So bringing the knees up in front of the body, placing the soles of the feet together, placing the hands around the feet, and then allowing the knees to fall towards the floor. Again, not pushing or straining in any way. Inhale, bring the knees up towards the arms. Exhale, bring the knees towards the floor. Complete 10 rounds in a slow movement, trying to coordinate the breath with the movement, aiming for that body breath mind connection, and placing the awareness in the hips and observing the hips slightly open, even just a bit more with each round of this practice. And once you reach your 10th round, bringing the knees together and then sliding the legs across the floor, placing the hands behind the buttocks with the fingers pointing away. And again, just observing the effects. We'll move now into Majari Asana, the cat posture. So coming onto your hands and knees, making sure the hands are directly below the shoulders and the knees are directly below the hips. The head should be in a neutral position in line with the floor. Inhale, point the head up towards the ceiling and point the abdomen down towards the floor and stretching through the arms. Exhale, bringing the head between the arms and arching the spine up towards the ceiling. This is one round. Complete another 4 rounds. It should be a very smooth, flowing movement. Again, synchronizing the breath with the movement. Remembering to push through the arms for that extra stretch and placing the awareness anywhere in the body where you can feel energy moving from this practice. And after your 5th round, again in your own time, come back into Shashankasana, the child posture. Placing the forehead on the floor, stretching the arms out in front of the body. And resting in this position. And our next practice will be lying on the front of the body. So lying on the front of the body, this is the cobra. So placing the forehead on the floor and placing the hands, palms down on the floor at shoulder height. Inhale, pressing on the hands, just lifting the top of the chest off the floor, keeping the abdomen on the floor, looking up. Hold for a few moments, exhale, bringing the chest down to the floor and forehead to the floor. Complete another 4 rounds, aiming to hold the final one a little bit longer than the others. Also keeping the heels together or the toes together. Again, this helps to support the lower back. And after your 5th round, place the forehead on the floor and then put the hands together in this way, like and then put the fingers sort of put together in this way. Put it on the back of the neck. This is like a small massage to the neck, and then you can actually, it's a relaxation posture. So just allow the body to release into the floor by clasping the hands together in this way. And then when it's right for you, roll over onto your back and lie in Shavasana just for a few moments. Ensuring the palms are facing the sky, the arms are a little bit away from the body, and the legs are released of tension. And now we'll move into leg raises. So for this practice, place the palms on the floor underneath the buttocks, just to support the back. If you have lower back problems, it's a good idea to bend the opposite leg in this way, just to, again, to support the back. If not, that's fine. And we'll begin with the right leg. So inhale and bring the right leg up towards the ceiling with the sole of the foot in line with the ceiling. Push through the heel. Exhale, and with the straight leg, gently return it to nearly on the floor, about 10 centimeters above the floor. This is 1 round. Complete 5 rounds in this way. And when you've finished on the right leg, wait a few moments to observe the difference between sides and then complete the practice on the left leg. And after your final round, just lie in Shavasana. But take your time, it's all in your own time. Our next practice will be nose to knees. So bringing the knees to the chest, hug them. Inhale and then exhale. So make sure you've exhaled before you then bring your nose towards your knees. Hold for your own duration and then inhale and gently bring the head back towards the floor. Complete 4 rounds in this way. And after your 5th round, allow the feet to stay in front of the buttocks. And you can either place the arms behind the head as long as the elbows comfortably touch the floor. If not, you can just have the arms out straight at shoulder height. Inhale, and then when you exhale, turn the knees to the right and turn the head to the left, and just allow the body to ease into this spinal twist. Then inhale, bring the knees back to center and the head back to center. Exhale, turn the head to the right, the knees to the left. Again, just allowing the body to ease into the position. It's okay to breathe in during each round, if that also helps the body to ease in. And then inhale, knees and head back to center. Complete another 4 rounds in this way, observing the twist in the spine. And after your final round, bring the feet back in front of the buttocks. Bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to gently open towards the floor. Place the hands in prayer position at the heart space. Inhale, stretch the arms up above the body, stretching up through the torso, and also allowing the knees to move further towards the floor as well, without pushing or straining, but just allowing the body to stretch. Inhale, bring the knees together and the palms back to the heart space. Exhale, complete the practice again. Palms above the head, knees towards the floor, really stretching through the body. Complete 5 rounds in total. And then when you've completed these rounds, lie in Shavasana. And lying in Shavasana now, ensuring that your spine is straight and you're balanced on both sides of the body. Bring the awareness to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath at the nostrils and observe how, with the inhalation, it fills the abdomen with air and the chest with air. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. And now I'd like you to increase the inhalation just a little bit more so that when you do, the abdomen feels like a balloon. And then the chest expands as well. And on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. And now return to the natural breath while I explain the pranayama practice we'll do in this class. We'll be doing a lying down version of Viloma. So with Viloma, it's a staggered breath, just one side of it. So it's either the inhalation is staggered or the exhalation. So what we will do is we will do 5 rounds of each. And so for the first 5 rounds, doing a complete yogic breath in, where your abdomen fills with air, your chest fills with air, and the upper chest fills with air. So you're completely inhaling to your body's full capacity through the nose. But as you do it, you will breathe in a little, pause, breathe in a bit more, pause, and then complete the full inhalation. The exhalation is just one long exhalation. Complete 5 rounds in that way. And once you do, then we will swap it over. So for the following 5 rounds, it will be a full yogic breath in, and then you will stagger the exhalation. So a full yogic breath in, and then as you exhale, you release some of the breath, pause, release a bit more of the breath, pause, and then complete the full exhalation. So complete the practice now, staggering the inhalation for 5 rounds and then staggering the exhalation for 5 rounds. This practice helps you to expand your lung capacity and also increases your breath control. It can also help to calm the mind and the body if it's ever in a state of flux. And taking your own time, when you finish both rounds, release the practice and just return to the natural breath. And once you've returned to the natural breath, we will move into Yoga Nidra. So if you do need any coverings or blankets or pillows or anything of that nature, now's a good time to grab those just to ensure that you're warm enough and comfortable and don't need to move throughout the practice. If you're wearing any tight clothing or glasses or tight jewelry, it's also a good idea to remove them now so you can feel the full effects of the deep relaxation. And so now lying in Shavasana with the arms a little bit away from the body and the palms facing the sky, with the legs at hip width apart and all tension released so that the feet just flop to the sides. Check that there is balance between the left and the right side of the body, and ensure that the head and neck are aligned with the spine. You may like to tuck your chin in just a little, just to check. And take a long, deep inhalation now and release any remaining tension in the body, allowing the body to melt into the floor. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And as you exhale, this time release any remaining expression on the face. Unclench the jaw if you're doing this and not meaning to. And even check in the muscles behind the eyes and allow them to relax. And feel the body's contact now between the floor. Observe the feeling of the heels against the floor and the back of the legs against the floor, the buttocks against the floor, the back against the floor. Observe the back of the hands and the arms against the floor, the back of the neck against the floor, and the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact make a singular plane of contact between the body and the floor. And become aware now of sound. Listen for sounds way off in the distance, but don't try and identify or name the sound in any way. Just move your awareness from sound to sound as you hear it. And now bring your awareness to the sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And bring the awareness now to sounds inside the room that you are in. Just moving the awareness from each sound to the next. And moving the awareness now to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now bring your awareness to the sound and the sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because sometimes it can emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body according to my instructions. When I name a body part, place the awareness there, visualize that body part, and mentally repeat the name of that part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. We'll move now to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. We'll move now to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. And moving around now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the ears, the eyes, the cheeks, the nose, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, the whole body. Have a sense all at once, the whole body. And release the body rotation now and bring the awareness back to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath at the nostrils and then the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. And observe how subtle the natural breath has now become. And we'll now add a visualization just with the natural breath. When you inhale, visualize inhaling healing, soothing, golden light. And when you exhale, release anything that does not serve you in whatever form that may be, whether that is pain or worry, whatever form it takes for you, release it on the exhalation with positive, golden, soothing light in, exhaling anything that does not serve you. And if the mind begins to wander, use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to the practice. Release the breath visualization now, and instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it has just stepped outside into the snow. The icy wind whips through your clothing and causes you to shiver to the bone. Your face feels colder. Your fingers and toes feel numb with the cold. Your body's feeling colder and colder, like you've just stepped outside in the icy cold snow. Release this feeling of coldness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels like it's standing in front of a roaring open fire. The heat stings your cheeks and causes your fingers and your feet to feel clammy and hot. Heat radiates from your abdomen throughout the body. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's standing in front of a roaring open fire. And release this feeling of heat now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body is feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy that it feels like it's pushing against the floor, almost falling through the floor. It feels so heavy, like it's made out of concrete or stone. The legs and the arms feel heavier, and the head and the torso feel heavier. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, and it's pressing against the floor. And release this feeling of heaviness now and replace it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body is feeling lighter and lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor, like it's hovering above the floor. It feels as light as a cloud, and it may drift off at any moment. It's so light. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, like it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now and release all of these sensations completely and allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. And instead, come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize, or create the following objects and images. You get up from your mat and walk out the front door of the house that you are in, and it's a different place outside than you are used to. You see a path outside your front door, a winding path that takes you into a forest. The day is warm this springtime. The earth is warm beneath your feet. There's a sweetness in the air, and the sun feels warm on your face. And you can hear the beautiful music of birds chirping, but you also hear off in the distance some other noise that you are not used to. You can't make out it's people and they are chanting, but you're not sure exactly what they're chanting, but it entices you. You feel curious and attracted to go and find out what is happening in the forest, because that's where the sound feels like it's coming from. So you walk on the winding path into the forest. It's a beautiful scene where light is dappled through the trees, and it causes the forest floor to have little circles of light guiding you along the path to a clearing in the center of the wood. You can also smell the freshness of the pine trees around you. And again, the sound of the chanting is getting louder as you walk along the path towards the middle of the forest. And when you reach the middle of the forest, you see the group of people deep in meditation, but chanting at the same time around a fire. And while you don't know what they are saying, you feel the vibrations coming from this place and this practice. You feel as though they are healing parts of you that you also want to let go. So you sit with this group, they are very welcoming, and you sit and you close your eyes and you just listen. Listen to the vibrations around you, and you can smell the smell of the burning wood in the fire, and you feel comforted, and you feel as though you are healing just by sitting there with them. And the chanting comes to a close, and you know that it's time to go, but you feel better than when you first arrived in this place. You feel a sense of freedom and release. And so you thank these people that you do not know, but you feel that you also do know them. And you feel bonded by this experience of connection, both with other people and also with nature. So you get up from this group and walk back through the beautiful dappled light of the forest, through the winding path, through the trees, and then back into your house and back lying on the floor in the room that you are in, back to your mat. And you still feel the feeling of release and healing that you had in that moment in the forest. And now it's time to call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space in case it emerges on its own. And begin to feel the breath again in your body and allow the breath to deepen. And as you do, observe the movement that your breath creates in your body. As the breath deepens, observe how it moves the back against the floor. And check in with your body now and observe how you're feeling at this very moment compared to how you felt at the beginning of the class. Begin to remember the details of the room that you are in, the color of your mat and your coverings, color of the floor and the walls. Begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. Remember the time of day. The practice of yoga nidra is coming to a close. Begin to make small movements with your fingers and your toes and move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to gently move your head from side to side or roll onto your right side for a few moments. Take your time. There's no rush. And then when it's right for you, come to a comfortable sitting position, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, just to maintain the peaceful state that you've created. And we'll take some time now to check in with the body like we did at the beginning of the class, and just observing and comparing the difference between then and now by gently moving the awareness up through the soles of the feet, into the ankles, then up through the shins and the calves and into the knees, up through the thighs and the buttocks, into the fingers and the hands, into the wrists and up the forearms, into the elbows, up the upper arm, into the shoulders, and then right up through the torso and the spine, into the neck, placing the awareness in the back of the head, the crown of the head, and also into the face, before gently resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at the eyebrow center, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the class. Breathing in, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.